What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Tilt City here at the FSI DFS YouTube channel. It's horrible branding. I don't know why I think it's just FSI. I don't know why I have the DFS, but that's what we do. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. You can see if you like it if you want, or whatever. This is Tilt City. I'm Alex Hooper, joined by Tom Stoss. Tom, anything taking you to Tilt City this weekend?
Not this weekend. It was the fact that I had to sit all week and listen to this developing Super League stuff and the Mourinho stuff, and the pace of it is just so that by now, what are we like? Where are we? We're just back to normal. It's like a week later, and I don't know. We'd be firing off hot takes if we did this on Monday or Tuesday, but now
we're over it.
Cold and in the ground. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Back to being numb about a late loss.
Yeah.
Same old Spurs.
How about you, buddy? What's got you going?
I've been on the wrong side of a lot of our decisions lately. From a DFS standpoint, that's always a little tilting. But yeah, I'm numb to all that stuff. I certainly wasn't unhappy when Mourinho went. I was happy when the Super League stuff reversed itself. I was unhappy when it happened, but yeah, not tilting necessarily over too much this week. Even though where we'll start today in our EPL recap from yesterday was a bloodbath, I think, for both of us. So
yeah,
not great.
Big mess. Yeah, the end of the season stuff is it's not doing well for me.
Right. Yeah, it gets really hairy at the end too. With once things are done and dusted, you get some weird lineups and some weird approaches to games. Some guys care, some don't.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I think one of my things is that there's more showdowns going on now, which we'll get into.
Yeah.
Not my forte. I cut my teeth on the classic stuff, and showdowns are a little bit harder to wrap my head around sometimes. I get it, sometimes I don't, sometimes I squeak by just luckily.
Yeah.
That all that happened this weekend.
Right, of course it did. Before we dive in, I just want to do a quick plug. I was lucky enough to join Jordan Cooper, Blenderhead, who we've talked about plenty on this show and looked at his lineups. I joined him on his podcast this week, the Theory of DFS podcast. He's also got the masterclass, which I watched and learned a lot from. So, I joined Jordan this week. That episode will come out on Tuesday. It's more about me. So, if you know a lot about me through this show or have heard me tell the same stories, you'll probably get a lot more of that. But as everything is with Jordan, we go over a lot of the stuff we go over here and then some, because he can take those things to the next level. So I had a blast talking to him. We talked for 2 hours, and then I think we talked for 30 minutes after we talked for 2 hours off the air. So he's a cool dude. I was very happy to be on the show. So check that out. Yeah. I'm sure I'll retweet it. By the way, follow me at Lex Hooper on Twitter. I don't know do you want to pitch your Twitter? You want to stay low key? All right.
I don't really talk about any of this stuff. If anything, I'll usually drop when Liverpool loses, I'll do capital L, capital L, capital L, Liverpool, and then I delete it because it's stupid.
That's what the people are missing out on.
That's about it. So don't worry about it.
All right. Well, follow me anyway. I'll
follow Alex. Yes, follow Alex most of all.
Okay.
And then you can work your way through there if you want to know where I am.
Yeah, you'll find you eventually. All right. Let's dive into Saturday and get it over with as soon as possible. All right, so looking at the slate overall, the Liverpool-Newcastle match was early, which you want to talk about all the L's in Liverpool. They didn't lose, but they tried.
It's funny. It's funny. It's high as funny when it's against Newcastle, too, with them. I'll take it.
And the way that it happened, too. I don't know if you watched. So Callum Wilson's about to score the equalizer, and we get this wild VAR decision where Allison kind of cleared it, and it just bumped off of Wilson's arm right back to his foot, and he put it home. He was going to score anyway. It was pretty clear.
Yeah.
Ruled off for VAR in the 94th minute, and then Joe Willock scores anyway. So I would have done a lot better in the showdown had Newcastle not scored, but I still I still at least recouped my money, and
you get the funny bump. It's funny, man. It's for the funny sometimes. It's I'll take it.
Yeah, the funny bump definitely does ease the tilt sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
So, all right. So really quick, looking at this one, it was just the 2-game slate on the Classic. So you had Chelsea-West Ham, which you thought would be a 1-0 game. That was pretty much how I saw it. And then you had Sheffield Brighton, which could have been a 1-0 game, but I thought it would go the other way. So let's dive into it. The Chelsea goal was from Timo Werner from Ben Chilwell. All right, so this is a new thing I wanted to roll out here. I'm going to, with all the goal scorers, I'm going to ask you on a scale of 1 to 10 how likely you were to get to them in, I'm going to say a 20 max GPP. And then I guess now that I'm looking at Timo Werner scoring from Ben Chilwell, there's going to be a lot of 10s in that regard. So I guess give me a percentage of how much you would have liked to get to him before or as you were filling out lineups. So you can, if you remember what the price was.
Yeah. So you say percentage, do you mean like likelihood, or do you mean what I would have liked my like spread to be of those
the
guys?
Percent? Yeah, your exposure,
Okay.
percent exposure in a likely world. And I'm talking pre lineup build. Like obviously it's 100% now and you might build it up, but try and give me your best estimate of what you think you were going for beforehand.
I'm going to complicate things right off the bat because I scripted this like I wanted West Ham to win because I wanted West Ham to win.
Sure.
So that kind of mucks it up. And also just the way that like Chelsea has been between Chilwell and Werner too. It's like a couple months ago that would have been like very, very, very much likely to have them in there. But like since they are like sort of moving it around,
you're talking like free kicks mostly with Chilwell.
Right, like because Chilwell's so expensive that like if you want to get an edge, you can go to a guy like I don't know. I was like iffy about Azpilicueta, but like when Reece James is in, that's a toss up to me. I don't know. Anyway,
and recently it's been Reece James taking the sets.
Yeah. I should say, do you mean all total like with McGoldrick scoring too, or just these guys?
We'll get to McGoldrick.
Yeah, right. I don't know. If I was on and not like leaning towards West Ham because I wanted them to win, I want to put it in the air. I think this is probably about a 33%, 50%, somewhere in that range that I would have got to them.
Yeah, that's about the same with me. So Werner, I believe, was cheaper than Pulisic.
Yeah, right.
I basically just swapped them out a bunch. So I don't know if I got to him about 50%. I got to him probably in the 40 to 45 range. Yeah. Maybe 50, maybe more than 50. But I think it was a little less. And Chilwell, again, the same sort of thing. Like those were the two guys really that when I wanted to switch up my cash lineup, which was Azpilicueta and Pulisic, I was just pivoting every lineup that I built with those guys to the other. So like that was kind of my build here was I was building a lot of Brighton, a lot of Pascal Gross. And then in those different variations, I was switching Pulisic to Werner and Chilwell or Azpilicueta up to Chilwell, making concessions elsewhere, et cetera, et cetera. You'll see that in my lineups probably. Yeah. Although you won't see it a ton because in the ones that I didn't have Werner, I obviously late swapped a bunch because there was one goal on 2 game slate. So going into that last one, there were a lot of situations where I had to get up. So
real quick though, because I'm really kicking myself. This is one of those ones where you we're watching the game and it develops that it's like, oh duh, that was an easier choice. Because you're saying like Werner's less, Chilwell's a little bit more, so you kind of meet in the middle with them.
Yeah.
This is where I was on West Ham because I thought that like I could get an edge with Kufal there. He's kind of been good. I thought, the West Ham would be hungry, at least you'd be going for it. But like Chelsea's Chelsea, and anytime I went to one of their wing guys, it was Azpilicueta because he was cheaper.
Right.
But like I don't understand why. Like of course you spend up for the other guy. And you could spend down for Werner, and all of a sudden that's an easy pivot. Yeah.
Well, so I think Werner was only like 100 or so less, and then Chilwell was like 1,001, or maybe more than that. He might have been like 5.8 to 4.1, I think, was the spread. So it was a little more difficult to get up to Chilwell, and you had to make some concessions. And we'll probably see in my lineup where that hurt you because I did it a lot, and despite I think I had 2 lineups with both. So.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
it wasn't the one lineup with the goal trick. So,
that's why I asked before because that really rockets this down to maybe a 10% chance, maybe not even that.
And it was early, so I was just immediately like, I got to him. So yeah, it was just McGoldrick. Like so, So, okay, what percentage did you get to him or want to get to him? Like when you think of a 20 lineups and you think it's Sheffield against Brighton and Chelsea against West Ham, how much McGoldrick or like Sheffield striker comes into your head when you're about to build lineups?
I can tell you exactly the percent that, like, do you want me to say? Because I can tell you what the one I did do. I think it makes sense. It's probably about like a 10% on that. Because
Yeah.
I got my 1 in 10 GPPs. That's I had McGoldrick up there,
I
and like
think,
yeah, that's about it. That's about the guy like who is gonna pull one in for like Sheffield and
right.
some guy McGoldrick. He's up front.
I
Might as
did this.
well.
I did the same thing because
Yeah.
like who else is going to score for them? When they actually do score, it's generally the guys up front. Like Fleck and Norwood will score every now and then, but like I'm trying to think of dudes who even play for Sheffield, and the other one's McBurney who didn't play or didn't start.
Right. Yeah.
But let's look at their lineup really quick because like okay, Brewster, but I don't know that he's ever scored. I can't think of a time where he's ever scored. So yeah, if I'm making classic lineups on this slate, like to be different, you want to get to McGoldrick. Like if you want to be really different, but building 20 lineups, I wasn't getting there a ton because there were other ways. Like with Brighton, okay, Maupay could score, Welbeck could score, Trossard could score, Gross could score, Lallana has scored, Basuma has scored, Motor did score and they took it away. Veltman scored plenty when he was a wingback. But so you see what I'm saying? Like there were so many ways to get different here with Chelsea, even with West Ham. I mean, because I got to some Bowen. I had plenty of Lingard. I stayed away from Fredericks and Kufal generally. I had some Souček. Like there are so many other ways to go and still kind of be a little different. And it wasn't a ton of McGoldrick. So that's just the way that things shook out. So let's just dive into it.
Yeah. If you're going to that bottom of the barrel guy up front too, you're more. I think at least me, I'm much more likely to pay up elsewhere, and that wasn't necessarily the guys besides Chilwell that like would have pulled it in for you. So McGoldrick is even more of like a less likely chance putting it all together. I would have got the goal scorers. I'm not really yet. But anyway.
So Chilwell was 6,800 and Azpilicueta was 4,100. So I mean that's a 27. That's a lot more difficult to get to. And he needed an assist really to hit that price. 15 points out of 6-8 is fine on a 2-goal slate, but here you definitely need him, I think. 2-goal slate on 2 games. Like when we guess the chalk, I think this should be pretty easy. So I kept Gross because I had Werner and Chilwell. I didn't have the Mendy situation. I thought that Brighton was going to keep a clean sheet against Sheffield. So I just left him. Pulisic hurt, obviously. But yeah, I felt good about Basuma. He's been really good lately. I thought I was going to get some more points here. Would a clean sheet have won it? No. Okay. Wow. That's a big score. That's a really big score for.
I think I think I would guess some of the people involved in that. Yeah.
So let's scroll way down because I had a bad day. Let's see what else I did. Had Werner, didn't have Chilwell. So I think I only had one.
Balbuena, you poor.
God. I got to him quite a bit. Yeah, that horrible decision on the red. Yeah. He was clearing it. Like, not that it would have changed a lot. I would have had 3 more points, but
no, they looked a little more dangerous when they had 10 guys. It was kind of like an issue.
You see that every now and then because other teams drop back when they're playing 10 men.
Right. But no, that was a mess.
I should say that teams with 11 men drop back when their opposition has 10. So a lot of times you see people looking more, whatever. So Mount was good. Conte didn't do anything. Azpilicueta justified his price. See, like this wasn't a horrible lineup. I'm just missing a goal scorer and an assister, and obviously, I don't know. I don't know how this is going to go. Sorry for scrolling.
No, that's fine. Yeah, right. When it's so like barren of goals, it's pretty like hegemonic of who's going to like be in the topper ones, and all of a sudden, people you're irrelevant if you don't have them.
Right.
It's a tough one. These are tough ones. Sometimes you get it. We've been on the right side of them. We've been on the wrong side of them, man.
Right. So I have a lot of Brighton stacks. You really just can see a lot of variations of Brighton stacks. Here's my cash.
Okay.
Yeah. Because my cash had Mount, Pulisic, Gross, Azpilicueta. It didn't have. Well, I guess it had Lingard.
Okay.
I don't think that's the same thing I ran in the other like those four mans. I don't think I
Oh.
ran this
Oh,
because
were you switching things up and you
I
lost
don't
it?
think I had Lingard in those
Okay.
because I think I was a lot heavier on Brighton. So I can't even speak to the late swaps there.
Yeah, right.
They were mostly in the first game. I just definitely dropped down to Trossard. Had Werner, didn't have the goalie, went Mape, tried to jump. See, this was just getting off gross, essentially. It was trying to get some differential there because this was a dead spot.
This is like, and then I'm sure we'll see it like when we get to the upper ones, but this is another one where like having the goal score, but also having the clean sheet win keeper is
you
just as important. Yeah.
Right, and especially when the ultimate paydown guy gets a clean sheet win.
Yeah.
Like if you didn't do it a lot, you're gonna, it's generally gonna be high ownership. Although I've said that, and then on the show, we've seen the lowest owned guy be, or the cheapest guy be super low owned. So Fabianski was only 50. Yeah, see 50% on Sanchez in a GPP is wild.
Yeah, Jesus.
Wow. So all right, so let's go to the top. Let's guess the chalk.
Okay.
You gotta think Werner, McGoldrick, Chilwell. I'm gonna go Ramsdale.
Ramsdale, yeah, I think.
I didn't see a whole lot of other people producing points because that didn't happen in my lineup. So I don't know who had good floor games. Was there an assist on McGoldrick? I don't think there was.
I don't think so. No. No, nothing. Do you think Basuma might have been in there?
Yeah, he was cheap and he had 9.
Yeah. I'm just trying to make sure that works out with the positions now.
So Werner can play mid and forward. So McGoldrick's definitely in a forward spot. If we're putting Basuma in, he's mid, probably utility. And then Chilwell's. So we have maybe 2 midfielders, maybe 1 forward.
Yeah, I don't know who else. Do you think it might have had Mount?
I think so, but he's expensive and high owned.
Yeah.
But I can't think anyone else put up that many points.
That's the sort of the thing is like you could see how you could work around it, but sometimes these top guys like they take the chalk and it works in conjunction with everything else.
How much did
other defender? I wonder if it was Keane Bryant was the defender.
Yeah, what do you have, like 7 or something?
He was like 7 or something, yeah, and he was bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, right. Okay, so let's fill out a lineup really quick, and maybe we can just go wild. So McGoldrick in our forward spot. I'm gonna go Werner, Mount, Basuma, Chilwell, Bryant, Ramsdale.
Oh yeah, and then who?
I mean, there's room for Lingard there, and he had 10 points.
Yeah, right. I
don't remember who else did well.
Yeah, right. That's the thing. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, who else have you mixed up in here?
Do we want to go? I think Lingard's my guess.
I don't know if it would have been gross. Maybe. He also.
I don't remember what he even had because I got. All right, let's cheat. Let's find me again.
9.3, and he pulled in a 10.28. That's kind of the thing. Like, this might not work out for Lingard. I think it does, but it might.
Lingard in 10, Mount, Trossard. So it doesn't always have to be the nuts. Mape had 11.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, right.
Basuma had 9. I think Basuma's definitely in it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be the nuts. Keane Bryant was only 6.
I thought he got 6.
Should have done this the first time. I'm kind of lost. Oh, Bogle. 4-5 though. Like, who is paying up for Bogle? Like, if you had Ramsdale, sure, but
I'm thinking it's probably. I'm just gonna like put my stake in Keane Bryant and Lingard at the end.
Okay.
Utility spot.
The crazy thing is you were only saving $200 going down to Ramsdale from.
I know. Yeah, it was weird, right? That got me a lot because I might as well just go up.
All right, you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Goldrick, Werner, Mount, Lingard, Bryant, Chilwell,
Azpilicueta. Okay.
If we were smart, we would have got it.
Yeah. Okay.
We almost did it. Almost did it.
That's pretty good.
All right, let's look at. Yeah. So that's probably the nuts. He didn't leave any That's a full cap. All right, so Ogbonna instead of Bryant.
Yeah, I went to
Ogbonna instead of Bryant was literally the only thing.
Damn.
That sucks.
Yeah, because I know I've been there before, looking at the same price. Like, I mean, they could both get like rocked. I don't know. Okay.
Gross, Trossard, Chilwell. So
Okay,
yeah, I mean, like you could get there as long as you had McGoldrick, Werner, and Chilwell and Ramsdale. Like it looks like you could have got there any number of ways. So Fornals and Fredericks. Veltman had 9 out of the back. He's good.
Oh, yeah, he sure is, man. He shouldn't be back there, but
his price is a little high for what. Like I don't know that I would want to pay 5,000 for 9 out of a defender, but like he's good. All right. I think this dude's good. I've seen him around. He's pretty good. Yeah, he just went against he just stacked a little bit against Brighton, which it definitely worked out, and it's not a bad call. The second one. All right. Duraco is really good. This is what I wanted. I should have built this lineup.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, that, like I said, man, this was the Chelsea of a couple months ago. I would have been like, yeah, I'll get this one in there. Fine. It's not. I don't know. They screwed me up. See, the problem is Champions League too. Is I kind of overestimate what is like possible from these guys.
Yeah.
So
I'm with you though. Like, so I don't ever expect. I stopped stacking Chelsea a ton because like they're not putting up 5 on people. They're playing a very Tuchel-ish, whatever they got to do to win a game, 1-0, 2-0, and it's not like Mourinho go out there, pray you score a goal and just defend. It's go get the goal and then put more pressure on to try to score the second, but like make sure you're defending.
Yeah, right.
There's a big difference between those two.
More than anything, I really think I feel like those are the guys to count on for shots, like shots that are in a good, like they're gonna either, I don't know, this is dumb. I don't know that you can count on them to like put together a game where they put up some shots. Like Mount had got up pretty high off of just like, and I don't think he had an assist. So
one cross too.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah, he's just active. The shot floor is very important. Shot floor, I think I don't consider as much. Like I know I've talked about shots on goal per 90. I look at that for scoring, but I don't necessarily look at it for floor. It'll get me floor, if they continue to do it.
Sure.
But
yeah.
So all right, let's look at Charlie really quick. So he went to Brewster. So he just did kind of the same thing. This is like the chalk. This is not the chalk. This is like the nuts build, but he went Brewster instead of McGoldrick, right? So Baldock.
Oh yeah, he went way down. Yeah, I didn't realize Brewster was that low. Wow.
Yeah, so it was basically just he changed out Baldock and Bryant or Brewster rather for McGoldrick and Bryant. Otherwise, he had the nuts lineup. Or this nuts lineup, whatever.
This time, yeah.
I don't know that nuts is the best possible lineup, not the lineup that won. I got to make that clarification. So yeah, the Mendy helped. Of course, I went to a lot of Fabianski, and he was the worst on the slate. Like so, 8 out of Fabianski, 12 out of Mendy. Ramsdale was what? 18. So that's 18. Big.
Sanchez was worse. Fabianski pulled at 8. Yes, Fabianski was getting a lot of work, so he kind of made up for it, but
and that's
not that 10. Yeah, but that 10 extra points is it makes the difference.
All right, so yeah, it was rough for me because I mean I only had the one McGoldrick lineup, and you kind of needed him up top.
Yeah, right.
I had plenty of Chilwell. I didn't have that much Ramsdale because I was like, it's $200. Like, what is it going to get me? Mm-hmm. Realistically, what I should do a lot of times is like just drop down every time. If I'm paying up, and I do it sometimes, if I pay up for a keeper, I know like my last 3 or 4 lineups is like I paid up for Sanchez, I would just do the same lineup and then just move it down one, get better somewhere else, or like try to find either a better differential or whatever somewhere else on the roster, and then go back to the lineup with Sanchez and go to the Fabianski, the second guy, and redo it again, try to find one place where I can spend that money, or just don't, and then go down to Ramsdale and do the same thing. I've done that, but I didn't do it enough here. So
yeah, that's tough. You chew through a lot of lineups doing that sometimes.
You do. Yeah. That's true, and that's kind of why I stopped doing it, because I found that I want to get to different goal scorers, not different keepers, but it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
but you can find more upside doing it with forwards. Like you can luck into a 3-goal game from Chris Wood, who we'll talk about here in a second.
Yeah, right.
All right, yeah. So congrats to McSteeler on your $100 in this $4 per entry prize pool.
Great job.
All right. So only showdowns today, this fine Sunday. I didn't play much of Villa. I played some of the City Tottenham. So we'll talk about everything but this Villa one, which is actually still probably just wrapping up.
No, it's all over. They're good. They're done.
2-2, huh?
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, it didn't help me. Who's Keenan Davis?
Yeah, he didn't start.
I don't even know who he is. I never heard of him.
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
So I woke up early and did this Burnley Wolves match. 3 goals by Chris Wood, 1 assisted by Matt Lowton, 2 from McNeil. This is the VAR decision that hurt me that I was talking about, and then Westwood from Chris Wood. So I played a lot of this, and we'll take a look. I finished 3rd.
Wow. Oh, you captained him. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
God.
Surprisingly, only 12% captained. I think people still play Wolves based off of last year. I went. So I built. I think 14 was the cap for the $1, and I would guess that like 10 were very pro Burnley because I figured people would do that.
Yeah,
I didn't expect 4-0. I expected 1-0.
Yeah, right. To something, I don't know. At least because sometimes Wolves do have those flashes of, well, I don't know, being together, not necessarily last year level, but you never know. And right, like I don't know. Yeah, people have this Burnley bias. Like no, they show up every once in a while, especially if you're not.
They're a better DFS team. Yeah, they're a better DFS team than Wolves. Yeah, and it looked like a better team. So I got 3 goals. I got 2 assists. I got a goal. I do that double forward thing. I know I've mentioned that with Burnley a lot, so I have a lot of this build, but like with Vidra instead of somebody, probably Westwood. So that's where that hurt me, but Westwood scored anyway. You definitely needed these 3. You obviously needed Wood in the captain spot to win.
Yeah.
My guess on the chalk, or the nuts rather, I got to stop mixing up my references. I would guess that Podence isn't in there, obviously, because he only had 3. I thought he would take sets, more sets, but Nori had 7 crosses. Let's look really quick. All right, so 14th. Yeah, here's Vidra and Taylor. Unfortunately, Taylor instead of Lowton. I do a really dumb thing where if I see 2 guys who are generally priced the same, like I think it happened today with West Brom, which I said I only played 1 lineup. Both of the West Brom fullbacks were like 200 apart.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just pay for the more expensive one, or I will pay down to the less expensive one and just say like I'll get different because like why would you like in this build why would you pay up if 2 builds like if you could build it both ways I will sometimes go to the cheaper guy just because, especially if I'm filling the back end with a center back, and then like I'll pay down for Ben Mee to get a bit different, and then James Tarkowski will score. But so yeah, Podence again here for me, which was that was where I went with Wolves first, was Podence. I think very highly of him as a player.
Yeah, that's if he's that cheap too, I'm thinking about getting him in there. If I'm having one guy, I don't know, just to be different at least, I'd throw him in.
Yeah, I go to Pope a lot, obviously, but yeah, differential's a big thing. I mean, it's a big thing literally everywhere, whether you're playing FPL or here. And on both sides of these slates, but I'm not going to spend too much time here. Oh, faded Wood, not great, but I didn't fade Wood a lot. Apparently, you can only make like 4 here. All right, I want to see what Charlie did to get so far down here. It's nice to see Charlie at the bottom for once, because I'm sure whatever he did was really smart, and I think we can learn as much from this as we can probably learn from his higher lineups. So
when it goes wrong, wolf stack. Yeah.
Which was like legitimate, and I would have gotten there. I know I got there in like the 14. I probably I might have built this exact lineup. Honestly, no, I don't know Westwood. I don't ever punt down to Westwood. If I'm going to punt down on Burnley, I don't ever go to just Westwood. I don't think so. But Charlie's smarter than me, so he did. And like this is a good lineup because if Podence scores, there's a good chance it's from Traore. You get the 2 wing guys. If there's a shutout, or a clean sheet rather. You get it here, you also get it here, you also get it here, plus the production and a set taker from Burnley. Like it's it's a smart build. It's just a different script. And that's that's the thing with Showdowns is you're scripting one game. Like to try and script a bunch of games on Classic Slate is very hard. With Showdown, you can enter 20 lineups and you can script for a 21-3 game, and you could script for a 0-0 game. Like you can do a lot of different things. So you get a lot more variance sometimes, unless you build like I know I've taught you to build or shown you that cascade build where you're just like, I'm on De Bruyne and I'm just going to figure out different ways. Like, but that doesn't work with every game. So.
No. Well, I've definitely been here before with Wolves, just seeing all these yellow shirts and being like, I don't know if I can count on this ever to break through, but like just to cover my bases, I'll throw them in there. And like, yeah, you want to do it, but I this could, I don't know. My bias says that I'm afraid of this one and I don't want to do it. It's not that it's not smart though. It's again, hindsight. This is another hindsight one. It's like, yeah, of course, this like I can see why that didn't happen, especially when Burnley puts up 4.
Yeah, I didn't expect that, and it should have been 5. I wanted that Vidrigal. All right, so looking at this one.
Yeah, right.
I'm Wood, McNeil, Westwood. That's all 4 goals. Instead of Potence, it's probably Loughton. The nuts would most likely just be Loughton instead of Potence, but I'm guessing that no one got the nuts because that would be 7 more points, I think.
It's a tough one because they got 4 points on you, and it's like who else? Like it's not like you're looking for someone a big difference.
So Loughton into this lineup instead of Potence would have given you more money.
Right.
So
but you almost don't want to change anything.
Right. You wouldn't. I don't think you would. I don't think the actual nuts lineup would be a change. So I'm guessing this was who was up there? Neves?
Okay. Yeah.
I don't think that extra. So I had 3. So I think you could get 2,000 more. I don't think you could get up to Traore.
No, he's like in the 10s, right? He was like 10,000 something.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Okay. Yeah, I just trying to piece this together because I didn't do this one, just for the listeners. So I'm really flying in the dark here.
I'm gonna say Potence is out, Loughton is in, and then I'm gonna say instead of Ait Nori, it's Semedo.
Okay.
No, it was just both fullbacks instead of Pope. I almost said at the end Pope wasn't in there because like you don't need that score.
Yeah, right.
14 doesn't do much in a 156 point lineup, so that makes sense. I almost said it, but I didn't remember what Taylor had because I wasn't looking at my Taylor lineup, which I think is right here, 10. All right, where do you go? Wizard of Ozo. He had a good day. I think he won a couple of these things. I think he won the next one we're going to talk about as well, which was this scoreless draw between Leeds and Manchester United. All right, so you played this one. I played this one. What did you think this would look like going into the game?
I thought it would be a 2-1, a 1-1.
That sounds like about right. Yeah.
Yeah.
United wins, but both teams score, right?
Yeah, right.
You didn't think it would be a...
No. And I figured that like without Rafinha, they would have like gone like hard to like Harrison or someone like that. And I could at least count on him for a lot of, I have no idea what like transpired in this one. Besides the results, but that sucks. I don't know. Yeah, I would expect that there would have been a goal. Yeah. 2-3 goals.
Right.
And no.
Yeah, I was building like obviously with United at the top of the table and Leeds a mid-table team, like there's a possibility for a clean sheet, but I wasn't building a ton based on that. I built enough, but not a ton. So let's look at mine. Kind of review yours as we're going through so we don't have to double share screens, and let me know any thoughts you have based on what we're looking at.
I just did the cash battle.
Yeah. Right. You did cash. Okay, let's talk about yours first then. How about that?
Sure. I mean, this is the thing. Like I put Shaw up top at captain, which I think worked out. Yeah, that worked out. Probably one of the better ones. I don't know. Maybe Henderson. No, he was pretty cheap. I don't remember how much he was without the cat money on there. Yeah,
Shaw was 76.
he's right there, 768. Yeah. So anyway, I thought Greenwood would be the one to pull in the goal since he's been on fire recently. I actually faded Bruno in cash. I didn't play him just because he was so much and just trying to get to Harrison. I think I thought, like I said, I thought Harrison would be like the pivot point for them. So getting to him and getting people who, as it turns out, you didn't need to get to in this one, not like the lead center backs, because I thought they would bring in nothing, and it turns out that's better than going to Dallas like I did, and possibly Daniel James like I did. And also I had Dean Henderson in there.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So, I mean, all those clean sheets across the board, it was really nice where I did get them. I got lucky on this one because I did squeak by about 0.18.
Yeah.
So I'll take it. But this was this was a tight one for me.
I don't think I played any cash, but I don't know that I would have faded Bruno in cash. That was a bold move. So
I'm feeling dangerous, buddy.
So something I wanted to talk about actually, and I didn't think to bring up, is like with GPPs, I think you need to think before you go into it, like, who do I want to fade and how much? Kind of the same way I asked, like, how much do you think you would get to this guy? Like, who do you think you want to fade? Which generally, if you're doing enough lineups, like 20 lineups, the answer should probably be everybody at least once. Like if I'm building a lineup where De Bruyne is the best player on the site, I'm going to fade him once, at least, maybe a little bit more if I like some similar builds. So I can do like 3 to 4 and just kind of do that thing where I get weird with 2v2s and everything. But it's a lot harder in cash, especially in Showdown.
Yeah, right.
So
yeah, I got lucky.
But it's fine. It's good that we're talking about it. And like sometimes it works. Like sometimes there's a point, and with these prices, I don't know. I'm not a good cash player. That's the thing. Like double ups, I suck. Like my career earnings is just in the tank in double ups. I'm playing, like 23-man double ups with 20 guys who are like complete sharps, and that's why I stopped doing it.
Yeah, I would probably stop too. It's no good, man.
But like, I don't have a good feel for when I don't want to captain the best player on the favorite team. Like generally, I would go in for cash and I would be like, yeah, Bruno, boom. Over this year, I think I would have learned to captain Shaw a lot more because he's taken more sets. But not doing it consistently, I guess I can't really speak to it. But yeah,
that's something I have been doing more often than not with United. Is Bruno's a really quick fade, and Shaw is usually the guy I have total coverage on. Yeah, maybe like 98%, something like that.
Yeah,
so I think that's where that came from here. At least.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. Like he would be the first guy I think in this match that I would fade because he's not as dominant as he was because he's not taking all of the sets, and I mean. Yeah, he's 82% owned, 26% captained, and that's that's a great fade.
Yeah, if it works. What was I gonna say? My entire like Showdown project is seeing if I can pay down a captain and like kind of seeing like the odds of that, and I think it's probably about a 40 to 60% working, probably even less than that.
Sounds about
when it
right.
works, it works. When it works really well. But like you start to look at the top at the end of the day, and it's like, Bruno and captain, like you could get there. I mean, the top guy in this double up, like, did Llorente and Sturgic in the back. Like, I don't know in what world I'm picking both, but it's the world where I captain Bruno probably.
So, who won the double up? What is the person? Who is the person?
The guy, Liore 7.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. So
yeah, I never seen that name.
If you would have told me it was like Charlie or something, I would have been like, all right, I don't get that. But like. Game selection and the people you're playing make a big difference. So like some of these times, like in a 0-0 match like this, that's what I build for. Like I'm pretty sure I would have cashed because I would have had Bruno and Shaw. Shaw would have been captain. So all of a sudden I'm already looking at 28 points or whatever, 40 points.
Who are you taking from? Are you taking anyone from Leeds? Besides
Harrison.
Way down? Okay, yeah.
I think Harrison was in the core at FSI. So
he might have been.
I definitely would have. But he didn't have a good match.
No, and he was so expensive. That's the tough thing is.
I think I would have played James.
Yeah, he was pretty good price.
Cheap winger. I'm always playing it. So that's. Right. I mean, that's 4. Probably Stuart Dallas.
Right.
And then maybe Wan-Bissaka. I don't know what that lineup would look like. I probably could look at my cash lineup here, or my first lineup that I made here, but
yeah,
I don't want to find it really quick. So yeah, I came in second in this with the double captain onslaught. This is the first thing I build in GPPs. Like if I'm gonna play one in the big one, it's generally this. It's opposing keeper, 5 guys from the dominant team. But I thought this match would be closer.
Yeah.
So I didn't do it as much.
It was pretty close. It was about as close as you can get.
Sorry. I thought it wouldn't be as close.
Ah, okay. All right.
Well, no, because that doesn't make sense. What am I trying to say?
You thought there would be goals and it would be close.
I thought Leeds would score.
You thought Leeds would score.
I thought Leeds would score.
Yeah.
But I'm still building for the outcome where, I mean, this isn't necessarily a 0-0 double keeper build. There are two kinds of double keeper builds. It's this one and the 0-0 build. This is, I think, Rashford, Bruno, and James are going to pepper Meslier. He's going to get 10 saves, give one up. I don't need the clean sheet. He still gets 40 points. I get the clean sheet from the other keeper. The other one is I'm going to take the cheaper keeper so I can get more cash. I'm going to take Bruno and Shaw because they're going to take most of the sets. I'm going to get Henderson because I'm scripting for 0-0. And then probably Harrison and whoever I can afford. Or if I can't afford Harrison, probably Dallas. And I probably built that as well. It might be under here somewhere. So, so you snuck in. So what was your exact lineup?
Sorry, I lost you there. What was it? What'd you say?
What was your exact lineup in cash?
Exact cash was Shaw, Greenwood, Harrison, Henderson, Dallas, Daniel James.
Okay.
And I
just got by with that. That's a lot of bold choices. Fading Bruno and playing a keeper in cash.
It gets pretty wacky, man. I probably did that. Like I think I woke up and did that one. So that's there's a little bit of handicap there.
I would say that is not a very high EV lineup in cash, but I suck at cash, so whatever. You made money, and that's what matters. All right. I guess we can try and guess who had 0.71 more points than what I did. It was probably much different. I'm guessing like it was a Shaw captain with Bruno, both keepers, maybe Rashford and like someone else. Like I can't imagine.
Because I think it'd be this, but where do you go off to, right? Because
let's look at some other ones. Here's Wizard Woes. He tied me in second.
All right.
He had a nice day. All right, so this was the one that I built beforehand, and I bet this is the one with Harrison. I bet this is the 0-0 keeper build. You ready?
Yeah, sure.
Yep. Nope, it was just a different onslaught build.
Greenwood.
Where I went with Greenwood instead of Rashford. So McTominay only had 5, Greenwood had 11. Okay. Yeah, sure. More of a United domination build. So it looks like they dominated the game. Only 56. If they took 16 shots.
Yeah, right. That's probably just getting downfield and shooting it.
Right. Okay. So what else did I do? Okay, here it is. This is the one I was talking about. So this is a 0-0. This is a 0-0 build for. Yeah. Although I didn't do Henderson. I did Phillips instead.
Yeah, right.
This is kind of more of a Harrison scores. No, I wouldn't have captained him. I see a lot of Charlie.
There he is.
There's my guy.
And okay. It's funny this one's down so low. I guess it got you through, but
yeah. So this is more of a build for one of these dudes scores, but it's 1-0. Leeds gets a little more action, and then you can fit more because you paid down for a guy who still puts up 17. And then he would have had more he would have had 7 more had United scored. So, all right, this one's off the board. Rashford. Oh no, I still made money on this one. 0-0's a weird one to look at like this because
pretty close.
Like these builds are not for 0-0.
No.
It's just that one team was better. And it kind of showed up. So, all right. So we don't need to spend too much more time on this. I didn't see anyone who's going to be better. So I'm going to say I'm going to say Shaw captain, double keeper, Bruno, Rashford, and I couldn't tell you who the last person was.
Yeah, I'm walking on this one. I have no idea.
But I'm going to say Shaw captain.
Yeah. Huh, there you go.
Ailing.
There you go.
Ailing and Lindelof.
Ailing. Oh.
So it wasn't even
right.
double keeper. Okay, yeah, you had a nice game. See, I didn't know because I didn't plan at all. I think
it's
I got
crazy that there's a lot of change up. It's funny to get you this close to where you had.
Yeah, so this one's the same.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
Streak.
I was wondering if one of them would be somewhere, but that was the thing. I didn't think he would pay down to Streak from where he was at number 1. And looking at yours anyway.
Right.
I figured it would at least be that.
JC MMA is in FSI, and he is very good.
Okay.
He's very, very good at this.
Stay away from me. Don't.
He wasn't in the soccer lobby a ton, and he's been there a lot, and he's very, very good.
Nice.
And I played MMA this weekend, so I might have to ask him how to do that because I had fun. Shaw, Okay. Yeah, so, all right, let's move on to... Oh, I finished 4th in this one. Apparently I had less entries because I didn't get to the one. Dean Henderson. Same guy won? Yeah. Okay.
Let's get to our boys here.
Yeah, let's talk about Spurs. 1-0. Laporte scores late. What were the possession stats? I'm glad to see Toby was the best player because he was the best player. Best rated player because he was the best player. Yeah, that tracks.
62%. I couldn't believe it was. I didn't watch until the second half. I couldn't believe that it wasn't more. Just the way City was just in front of the goal so much in that second half.
Right.
It's nuts, man. It's a mess.
I mean, Mahrez missed 2 beautiful curling shots. Sterling just didn't get to a couple perfect De Bruyne passes. It could have been 5-6 nothing easily if they just could have finished. So.
Just playing with us, man. I hate this.
So Toby was really good. Toby blocked a lot of shots. Dyer made a mistake that almost led to a goal. Aurier made a couple of mistakes that almost led to a goal, and then made the mistake that did lead to the goal. Reguilon gave away some bad fouls. It was typical Spurs. Son was bad. Yeah.
So you watched all this?
I did. Yeah.
Was Reguilon? Was he playing bad today? He I don't know. I saw a couple of botched.
Worst rated player
setups from Højbjerg, and I couldn't tell if Højbjerg was being dramatic or not. It seemed like
when he played the one ahead.
Yeah.
That was
Højbjerg likes to yell a lot. He's really loud out there.
Not at his teammates though. And he should have, because that was stupid of Reguilon to pull up. Okay. And he's one of the smarter players. Yeah, so he was the lowest rated player who played today. So yeah. And their final rating was the mark of the beast, so that's never good. All right. I played 20 lineups. Yeah. I played a lot of Spurs to get different. So this is the one lineup I played in the big one.
Yikes.
So can you tell what I was doing?
Okay. Yeah.
What was I scripting for, do you think?
1-2, 1-1. No, not 1-1. 1-2. Were you going for a 1-1 here? And then what, on pens or something like that?
So honestly, it was 1-1. It was Lloris gets peppered, Kane scores, and then one of these dudes scores. Gundogan from De Bruyne or Mahrez from De Bruyne or Cancelo to any. Cancelo, De Bruyne, and Mahrez could have easily provided the assists. Gundogan could have easily provided the assists. All 4 could score, although Cancelo was more goal. Yeah. And so obviously not a clean sheet. But yeah, it was like Kane penalty. I mean, look at this.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah, it's where you exactly where you want to be.
He scores 2. He scores 2 and I look good.
Yeah, right.
This could have been a 4-2 match and Kane could have scored 2. And based on the ownership, if I got the rest of them right, if all 4 City goals came from here, I could have looked pretty, even though I'm paying up so much for Kane. That doesn't really. Yeah, it was one out there. So it was 0-0. And I mean, these scores were pretty much all the same minus De Bruyne's assist. And Lloris hadn't given up a goal either. So I mean, we were looking at if Kane got a penalty or if Kane scored, I was I could have won because I had plenty of floor points here. I would have lost the clean sheet from Cancelo and got 9, but I would have got 10 more here plus 2 from the goal that he didn't allow in that case. Plus he might have got peppered more once Spurs scored. But That's what I was building for. I knew this was a possibility, but it was more of a scripting thing. So
I was gonna say too, yeah. If Kane scores, that probably juices the rest of the city guys too. So you're even sitting even better of a position. You
right.
think?
Yeah.
If Kane gets on there, which he can, if they get anywhere near it.
Right. And he was dropping back a ton, so
yeah, that's true.
There was a good chance if we scored, then he only had an assist, and I wouldn't have really won because the goal scorer would have been the winning lineup. All right.
Right.
So Moneyball wins because, of course, he does. Money goes to the 1%, just like in real life.
Always.
I don't know what the rest of this looked like. I'm gonna try to guess though. His 47th lineup, so I'm going to guess Laporte.
Yeah, I'm thinking Laporte's there. Probably instead of Lloris, at least on this one. I don't know.
I'm just saying captain. He's definitely in the lineup. I'm just trying to I would guess he's captained.
That's okay. That's a good. Yeah, probably.
But he doesn't have to be because he's going to be so cheap that you could captain De Bruyne and still get a bunch of expensive options. Yeah, I can't I don't know anyone on Spurs who put up enough points to be relevant.
What's oh no, I guess I don't know at all. So did
REA was 3,400.
REA, yeah, you said
he had about 9 points. So I'm gonna say he was in there, and then it's gonna be a 5-1 stack. So I'm just gonna say it's De Bruyne, Laporte, Stefan, Cancelo. I don't know what Foden did, but I wouldn't be surprised if he were in it. I don't know if the money works. That might be a lineup where Laporte has to be captain. So
I haven't done the math at all, so it's not like it's necessary. But I think there's by the 47th lineup, Cancelo easily could be a captain.
Yeah.
That's all. But yeah, you're right. I see your point that you don't need him. So I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if he's there, is all. That late down.
Yeah, I'm gonna say he's not. That's my guess. That's the best I can do.
That makes sense, yeah. Let's do it. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
I was right.
Yeah. Wow.
I nailed it.
Very nice. And Foden, good job. All right.
Oh, I'm proud of myself. Makes me feel better about our crippling loss and the fact that I didn't win $10,000.
You can build a winning lineup later. After, once all the chips are in, you can do it. Oh,
God, I could have built this lineup.
Yeah, right. If only you threw 47 or 50 lineups at it, then we would have gotten there.
Okay, so I didn't build it in. I don't know. I don't like being that guy.
Time.
He left $1,200 on the table. So that's how you solo a GPP.
That's right, man.
Because like I said, I'll pay up. I will fill up. I'll turn around and just pay up where I don't need to. Even if I like the script, I'll be stupid and I'll be like, I have extra, so I should spend extra. That's not the case. I'm also not building 47 lineups.
That sounds like a real pain to me. Man, I'm not.
The most I've ever built is 20 because I only play things only these big GPPs have higher limits than 20 of what I'm playing.
Right. I didn't even know there were 51 ones. I didn't know.
I think you play 85 in these.
Have fun, man. I'm just gonna lose track of everything, and I'm trying to do late swaps in that. I mean, I know that's not the case here, but
right. I think I could build 200 lineups, showdown lineups in an hour. I don't think that would be an
hour.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because
good for you, buddy.
I build 20 in 5 minutes because I just cascade and stuff. I don't know. It's easy to build showdowns. Once you do
my problem with the cascading is that I kind of lose track of what the categories of cascades to do.
That's easy to do.
I get lost in the weeds instead of locking down this is the pivot. This is the pivot. Combine all the pivots and we'll get it together. I'm always just what about this guy that's 4,400? What if he scores 3 goals? Then I'll look like a genius. Okay, I should get him in the mix.
Yeah. You just got to consider the range of outcomes and whether or not it's worth it. And I think you look at it long enough, then whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. That's not me. I like to take my allotted hour to build my 20. I like to take my time.
It's smart, and I used to do that, but
mixed results. Sorry.
Well, yeah. So what do we learn?
I learned to. I didn't learn anything. I don't know. I learned. I had to look at. I'm gonna really sit down and look at some of these showdowns and see like what got me across the line versus what didn't get me across the line. I still don't know because I did the West Brom one today and totally whiffed on it. I'm not even sure what went wrong there.
Yeah.
So I had to look at that and see like what the difference is.
Right. Be sure too if you're looking at GPPs.
Yeah.
Don't always think about, well, I mean, look at how it went given what the score was. Like, always take the score line into account. Like, that was a 2-2 match. Like, there's so many ways to get to a 2-2 match.
Yeah.
How could you do it? Like, something that makes sense, but you're still getting differential so that you can actually win. When you're doing these GPPs, you have to ask, like, could this win?
Right.
And also you have to figure out how to get different. When it's cash, you don't have to figure out how to get different as much as you just have to get the best possible optimal lineup. So like in that 0-0 draw, like that's what I'm playing for. I know I mentioned that before. Like,
yeah, right. Yeah, you brought it up.
Just pretend goals don't exist, and that's not always the best way to do it because like if City's playing Sheffield, then like probably gonna be goals, but you just have to take that into account. So
yeah, I don't know. That'll be the project going forward. Is like these matches get more sparse as locking down the showdown process. The other thing too is I have a weird streak in me where even in cash I do want to gamble with it just to be like that guy who like pulls off like an extra like 13 points to get what I don't know first, but in a double up.
Get any more money for it.
Yeah, right. No, because I've seen it work out before, so I have that urge within me that I should just, as always, just work out in GPPs and see if the same thing happens.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, in the end, the pricing is always tricky for me in Showdown, so I do want to still like see if I can work off an edge on that.
No. I think. Do you think going forward you'll play more GPP in Showdown or stay with the cash? Because I'm definitely better in GPPs for showdowns because I can do the scripting comes easy to me at this point.
Yeah, the issue with me entering more GPPs because I usually enter like maybe 4 to 8 for those, and it's like not enough of a spread all the time. But like my results are my turnaround around is so bad a lot of times with showdowns is that like I don't want to keep doing that. I want to see if I can nail something down within 8. I doubt I'm gonna do it with 4, but that's just because I want to have a little fun with like whatever. Yeah, but like I don't know if I'm gonna get there with 8. If I can get there with 8, then that'd be nice.
Yeah, I think I definitely do better with Showdown when I have the 20 lineups.
Yeah, right. Because you get it covered, but like my track record is so screwy on it that
Have you tracked your results in Roto Tracker at all?
I should get on that. No, I did it very early on and I haven't got back into it. And that's good too. Yeah, I really need to take stock of what.
Yeah, now that you have a deeper library, like play around with some of like see where GPPs have you, see where cash games have you, head to head stuff like that, and then like you can change around the price points and stuff. Although I don't think you're too variant on that. So yeah, give it a shot.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we'll have to do it at some point. Maybe when the season wraps up, we'll just do a retrospective.
You want to just do an audit when it's over?
Yeah, because it'll be nice to get a nice formal, recap of where we've been, especially because I'm still relatively early.
Yeah. Yeah. We've been doing this, not that long. So
yeah. Do you want to? Anything else you want to get into, man? Do you want to? Who's okay? How do you like in Ryan Mason at Spurs coach? By the way, are you tilting at all that he's younger than you?
Yeah, actually, I actually looked at his birthday today because I wondered if he was younger than you, but he's not.
Nope, I'm still good.
You got about 5
but he's really close, and he would be in my graduating class, so I'm still feeling it. But
the funniest thing about Ryan Mason, first of all, he was with Spurs like the first season that I started following.
Yeah, I remember him. Yeah. I thought I knew that name.
The other thing is he looks like one of the generated academy kids in FIFA. Like he just looks like a created player. He is the most normal looking British person I've ever seen. He's just the most.
I've been looking at that's I instead of I'm not really doing Ultimate Team in FIFA anymore. I've been doing a career with Lincoln City, bringing them up, and you have no idea. I've looked at so many of those faces, and you're so right. Man.
I know, man. Yeah,
his potential is so mid grade, but I might need to fit him in here, get him out on loan, see what happens. Maybe he could coach later. Who knows?
Yeah, right. I wonder if he's still in the player pool. No, he's been out for a while. I think he retired like as soon as he broke his skull.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Yeah, I'm not sure if you can get back in.
To actually answer your question though, like, if he's the manager after the season, I would be tilting. But there's not anything he can really do right now. Like, you can't change up the entire approach, so you're still playing Mourinho ball. But I think the guys are a little more like free to do what they want, which.
Yeah, like everyone's out there jockeying for position. Everyone's out there yelling at each other, like you're yelling around constantly. You hear it. It's a lot more vocal, and it's not necessarily, productive.
Yeah. But they don't have to. They don't fear that they're going to get chewed out or like spoken down to in the media anymore. So I think that's a big thing.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, right. Like I watched them Wednesday to see if I could be like, this is what the post era will be like. I'm like, no, it's kind of just a free for all, and then we'll see where the ball lands after summer.
The first 30 minutes of that Southampton match was that was a free for all. They had no shape. They had it was bad. And then they kind of just went back into Mourinho ball. But right. Is there any? Would you be upset if Spurs hired Bielsa away from Leeds?
I would be mad that I couldn't watch him be successful somewhere else. I would be mad that he had to come up against a Spurs team that is impetuous and kind of annoying, and I know he can be kind of grating or whatever. So I don't want him to fail at Spurs.
That's fair.
It could be interesting. I'm scared. I'm scared of this team coming up with him, and also, but I would love to see it. I would love to see what he could come up with. That would be really great. I'll bring Rafinha with him, and then we can talk.
Yeah, I bet he could do it.
We're pretty crowded. We got a pretty fat contract with Bale. I don't know.
Not after this year.
Bring him in then. Let's go. Mora out.
How do you feel about
Bale out?
Yeah, I was gonna say. Okay, so you're done with Gareth.
Yeah, Lucas Moura can go. He can go away. I hope he goes to some other team where he's much more appreciated and they make very, very good use of him. He's always screaming for the ball. He's always stealing Son's crosses that come in from Bale.
Yeah, he does do that.
That was, oh my God, I was dying how many times I saw that happen. Get out of here, man. Go.
He tracks back on defense, and that's why he's still playing. But yeah, I mean, like.
Yeah, he does do that.
Steven Bergwijn, remember him?
I sure do.
Like, play him, baby. He was bad. He was really bad for his stretch. But he's 23, he's 22, 23. Like, he needs to grow. So
get him out there. Yeah, why not?
I know he was hurt too. And then you need squad depth, but Moura started most of the matches. Lamella's leaving.
Oh, what?
He's going to Italy.
I had no idea that was happening. Oh man.
He didn't sign anywhere yet, but
okay. But he's pretty. The day's finally come, huh?
Yeah. He's shithoused enough.
Yeah. Thanks for all the fun, man. I've enjoyed it. As much as I yell at you, and then I laugh right afterwards because it was. I'm gonna miss him, man. Oh no.
Yeah, he and Bale probably gonna go back. I can't see a way that they bring Bale back. So.
No, I was like I was kicking around, when all this Super League stuff was going around, like where I would go to with the team or whatever. I think on where I've landed is that and I don't know if this is what happens with fans of something where you just like, I understand the Spurs show. I can watch the Spurs show and I hate it, but like, I at least like, it's funny to see how these guys move around and go from there. Yeah. I don't know if that makes me a supporter. I don't know what that makes me, but like, I at least know that these guys and I can track them like from 4 years back, 5 years back, something like that.
I don't know
that I need to jump to another team because I can just be like, I don't know what it like. Yeah, it doesn't like mean anything. I want to watch these guys that like I can be good.
Right. That's true. We didn't grow up in the areas, like it's not as micro, and I think we could probably move, but I would it's hard to talk about that. It feels it was Dele and Son. That's what got me to like this team. And I
if that's not clicking, then I'm not liking them nearly as much. But right, it is. It just feels like it's like a sort of academic to be like, well, I'm from Ohio, and I will be no longer supporting my Tottenham Hotspur. They've let me down too many times, and they're Big Six sellouts, and I hate them. Like, what does that even mean? Like, I'm still just watching all the games from another country.
Right. Yeah, I think you're allowed. I wouldn't judge you.
But I'm just shouting at they're shouting in a closed room. Like it doesn't matter.
Right.
It's okay.
You know, I was glad that the Super League fell apart so that I could stay, but they're sad, and also they're going to try it again. So
it's coming down the pipe. It's like I don't know how it's going to turn out in terms of their revenues, but like as long as some of these teams are in the hole, like they love to be, because they will not pay themselves less, and they're not going to get any cheaper players. Where they're going to try this over and over again. Some other company is going to be like, I'm bailing out Barcelona. Let's do that now.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, that's why those guys were hanging on, because the Italian and Spanish, the Italian teams, and then Barcelona is like so bad off. They really do need that money from JP Morgan. They need it.
And that's why they're still like, we'll still do it.
We're going to do this. Totally. We're going to just do we're going to do it one group. That's we're going to have one group of.
It's just going to be El Clasico just over and over and over. Just Barca. Yeah. Still not filling their stadiums.
Oh, no. Yeah, man. Unless something else happens with the Super League stuff, though, we missed the boat on it. I don't know.
The literal life raft to get off of this sinking ship. All right. Well, that does it. If you're still listening, you have the patience to listen to me yammer on for 2 hours with Jordan. So go check that out. Check out the theory of DFS in general. If you can pony up for the masterclass, I highly recommend it. But he's got the companion podcast, and he talks to a bunch of people across the DFS world, and I've learned a lot from it. So I don't know that you're going to learn a lot from me, but
well, I will. Let's put it this way: you've done the master classes, I haven't. So anything that like Alex is more analytical and is much smarter than me with this stuff, but he also has that going for him too. So where you see my mistakes, you can get rid of those probably if you look into this and get some good advice from out there.
I think I talked about you. I think I talked about you on the podcast.
I gotta listen then. I'm gonna just be sitting there just 2 hours, excited for
a name drop. I can't remember what about, but
who's this mysterious guy? Who's this guy? He doesn't not involved in the community at all. What's his who is this? What's his deal?
Only find him here on Tilt City. Exclusive to Tilt City.
Do not look.
All right. I gotta build some MLS lineups. I just realized.
I gotta go get some spaghetti for dinner tonight, buddy. I gotta go get some groceries. Let's get out of here.
Go do it. All right. Thanks for everyone who tuned in. Listen to the Theory DFS podcast. That should come out tomorrow. You're probably viewing this on Monday, so that would be tomorrow. Tuesday. Comes out Tuesday. Okay. Check it out. And we'll see you next week. Hopefully there's classic slates. I guess we'll do a show again next week. We're not just going to
just ramble like the last half of last
That's
half
true.
of this.
That's true.
We
That's
know,
what we do
I know
anyway.
we can do that. Yeah, right.
We can pull that off. We can talk about anything. But, all right. Till next time. See you later.